Yep. Ding, ding, let's go. We are being as soul. And yes, that's a play on words. Being as soul and polish it, right? Of course, if you say that 10 times fast, you see the play on words. And we're gonna play into that in this content in today's video. Welcome! This is Mr. Mike. Hope you're doing well. But just as soul, right? Soul, your one job. Hello, welcome to life. You've been born. You've been doing life for a while. Whether you're a teenager or 60 plus, just doing life, being as soul. Whether or not you want to admit that you have a soul, and you can honestly call it whatever you want, but this power, this internal metaphysical power, you have it, you are using it, you are being used, like I like to say. You are living life, and life is living you. You're living it and being lived. And you would be very wise in seeing this two-way street. This soul is the hotline to God, straight up. The intuition is God being like, all right, cool, I got your number, let me tell you some stuff. You can call it God, you can call it whatever you want. We are as soul, being as soul, and polish it. So yeah, but that's what this channel is all about. It's all about talking about the real stuff, the real, actual, true, natural, metaphysical aspect of self, of life, utilizing it and joking about it, like having fun about it. Like, you can be serious in some senses and funny and irreverent in other aspects. You can be reverent and irreverent. The irreverent reverend, right? That's me in a nutshell. The cosmic wrench in the piano. You can play beautiful music and get to a point where it's like, all right, let's get a little bit too chummy. Kaboom! You know? Get a stick of dynamite. Boom! This song's done. Enjoy the fireworks. Enjoy the beauty of the destruction. I'm gonna rise some more phoenixes from some more ashes. Let's go. Let's do it. Because maybe you've experienced this already, where if you become too disciplined, too routine, too serious, it has diminishing returns. Diminishing returns. And then if you become too playful, too irreverent, too loose, too silly, that has diminishing returns too. Where, you know, it reminds me of politics. If you become, you know, and I'm talking the terminology, but we can go back to like the root meanings of these words. If you become too liberal, too giving, too flourishing, then that can cause problems. But if you're too conservative, if you're too kind of boxed in, boxed off, that can be an issue as well. Gotta find that balance. Don't be too far in any extreme. Find the places and spaces to be loosey-goosey and fun. Find the places and spaces to be truly still and reverent, reflective, and just here, right? There's a time for work and a time for play. That's life. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And at the end of the day, I like plays on words that have completely opposite meanings, like this topic, like this title, because it's like when we can get called a name, we can be offended. Like, you're an a-hole. Like, oh, you're this, you're that, and they're trying to offend you. But if you, like, play into it as a joke, and you're playing into it, like, in a bantering, a kind of cheeky sense, where, like, all right, like, you want to play this game? Instead of me being offended, I'm just going to double down and say, like, yeah, that's true. Like, check out how much of an a-hole I really am, right? Like, you haven't seen a-hole. Like, let me show you a thing or two. That's the best way to play life. And, this can get, like on really serious topics where people are, like, violating, like, the true, like, human rights of others. And that's legitimately not okay. But we can see the bigot, we can see the racist, and just troll them into changing. Obviously, that's an ideal situation, but if we, try to protest and do the whole town hall, Tiananmen Square stuff, in a sense, it's just giving them more power. So this is wide scale, but we can relate it to the individual and the personal scale. That'll just happen inevitably. The fact that if we look into this YouTube video, Morgan Freeman, racism, 60 minutes. It's like a 1.5 minute long clip where Morgan Freeman, a very respected black man, African American man, call it whatever, man, a very respected person, very respected soul. The interviewer talks about Black History Month, and Morgan Freeman's like, I don't want it. Do you want a White History Month? Do you want a Jewish History Month? And then the interviewer's like, well, it's trying to help, solve and stop racism. And Morgan Freeman's essentially like, you want to stop racism? Stop labeling, stop identifying, stop talking about it in that sense. I am Morgan Freeman, you are whatever his name was, Morgan Wallace or something. I'm an individual, you're an individual, we are humans. How about we make a conversation like that? So that's straight up. That's exactly what I'm talking about. In that sense of, look, let's just troll a little bit. Let's just be satirical a little bit. Not give these things, these division points, so much power. It's just gonna make more division. I am soul. I am being as soul. And I polish it. I polish it. You are as soul. We're living life. Can we just live life? From the heart and soul level, keep doing better, keep being more and more ready for the tough stuff, for the challenges, and play around with it, to troll it a little bit. All in the efforts, all in the intentions to just make life better. Straight up. Straight up. So yeah. Much respect to you. Much respect to us. Much respect to this life, this cornucopia of gifts, all the physical, metaphysical elements, the 6 senses that were given as gifts, this body, mind, emotions, the soul, food, air, water, shelter, the autonomy, the amount of autonomy that we do have, the amount of autonomy that we want, that we're able to push and grab and cultivate and utilize. Yeah, it can be a real cluster at times, but much respect to you, much respect to us for making it happen. This is Mr. Mike. Catch you later.